All right, peace and love, everyone, and welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Roland Attenborough, and I am the leading William Gann scientific and analytical researcher. Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and the head and shoulders pattern. I've illustrated on the chart here that we have two head and shoulders patterns, one going back quite further and one that's not quite so far back with the yellow arrows. So we're seeing this weakness again build in the market. And I've been warning you since before the top came in that the 17, 18, and 19 months were these conclusive months here. And I told you to watch right out that we'd have a rollover. And that's exactly and precisely what happened. Because the same things happened, you know, in the previous three cycles. So I wanted to take a moment to just caution you and speak to you about this. And I wanted to bring to your attention that I feel something is about to change in trend, or we're going to have one heck of a move somewhere around this July 2nd to the 4th. And we have a series of counts on that. And from from this top here, if we go out 270 days, it brings us to the July 2nd area. And I want you to just pay attention to that, as well as from our first major pull down at 79,000 here in November. 225 days will bring us out to the July 4th period. And I did some cluster dates regarding that, and I wanted to point that out. So here we can see that I've color coordinated these dates from the top and that first low in November, from our extreme low of 79 and our extreme top at 126. And I've color coordinated the months where these align with our two different counts. And we were expecting a change in trend around the May 18th and the May 20th, and of course we've started to see the evidence of that occur. And our next likely suspect dates are the 270 days at July 2nd, and from the November bottom, 225 days lines up with July 4th. So these are dates where I believe we need to watch out for a change in trend. And I'm not necessarily calling it a crash date, but I am stating that it is a date to watch for, because as the market has started to show weakness now, we're looking to zoom in on a retest of our 59,060 level, as well as a capitulation low sometime into that early July, and well, possibly into the late July period. We have a bunch of things going on. Also, I wanted to point out in July, sorry if I'm waving this around, I'm going to try and keep it. So we have Mars is going to be conjunct Uranus. These two planets here, they're going to be conjunct on the 4th, 3rd, and 4th of July, and I expect well, this is the planet of war as well as energy, and it is conjunct with the planet Uranus, which is a planet of technology and transportation. So I expect something to be going on there. And if you're hearing any of the noise in the background here, that is the major storms that we have coming on right now. If you're having major rainstorms, let me know where you are in the world. I really want to know where you are in the world and where this is connecting with you. And also, I'd like for you to leave a comment on what you think is going to happen. So later on in July, we also have Mars is going to be at a 45-degree angle with Jupiter. And going back to June, we're going to have late June, we'll have Mars is going to be 60 degrees with Jupiter. So this body here and this body is the one I'm talking about here. And there'll be a full moon in here. Also, we have Mercury is going to create a 30-degree angle with Mars here, and then Mars will be going retrograde. So I expect a lot of craziness to carry on here, especially as Mars goes backwards here, and then it starts to go forward, or what we would call direct, around the 29th and 30th. So I thought I'd let you have a little sneak peek into what dates I'm watching for changes in trend and the things to go on. Also want to update, I have another bullseye appointment with an investment group, Post Oak. It'll be, I think, my 5th or 6th meeting with the vice president of that organization. They're very interested in our blockchain project while we harden and get our project going. Back to the chart now. As you can see, we've experienced some weakness, and we're down now to about 72,487, and we've been patiently waiting. I had some arrows pointing down to around the 40 level. Now, will that take place? Well, I have a very strong conviction that we're going to be retesting this area of the chart, this 50, 40, and 30. I explained to you before in a few different tutorials where I felt the price would come down to these areas, and by the end of the year, of course, I'm talking to you about the 12, 13, and 14 months from tops to bottoms, and 13 and a half months is November. And back to my ephemeris here, I just wanted to show you guys again what I felt was the reason for this. As I stated before, I need to update the planets in here, but Mercury is going to go direct after its third retrograde period, and Mars and Jupiter will be conjunct here. So I expect somewhere around this date to the end of the month of November and into December that we would in fact see a bottom, as we've done in the last 3 cycles. So that's what I wanted to share with you based upon what's going on here, and I just felt that it's important for us to just be aware that this fake out and this trickery here in the market, like these channels, they stretch further than most emotional intelligence can comprehend. And of course, this market was trying every trader to get them into a long position, and of course now you've seen that our conviction for the bear market campaign is still intact, and I was warning you to watch out for this, because here we are, we're into some very weak rallies here. We just came up barely and touched into the spike low on this on this wick here. We didn't even really get into the underbelly of this channel, and that really shows significant weakness. So at this point, I really want you to be really careful, and let's just be mindful that we're in a bear market, and that we're going to see some volatile moves here, and it's very likely impossible that we see these low levels of 40 and 30, and that we stick around there later on this year. However, we will be having bear market rallies again. Once we bounce down, we're going to be having moves back up to retest the under these wicks and the underbelly of this channel here, just as we've done in many campaigns before. When we can't get up into these channels, then the market shows extreme weakness. So I really wanted to show you that. I wanted to show you our head and shoulders pattern. I wanted to show you that we have a 270-day count out to this July, and we also have a 225-day count out to here. Also wanted to point out that between this top and this low is the triangle point, or 120 days. You can go ahead and put your counter on there and see for yourself, but that's exactly and precisely what has happened there. And I thought maybe we would just quickly take a look. So 119 days, you know, 120 days. So that's a strong triangular Gann point on the circle. So this tool here, I've created this tool under William Gann's guidance. I have all his books and courses and can explain his material with technical precision. If you want to learn about the longitude of price, meaning where price is inside the circle, then you can message me. I have a 25% off special that's starting yesterday and is going to go to the 6th of June, which is my guide. That's his day of when he came into this world with his great, wonderful knowledge. And it took me forever to figure out the longitude of price. It honestly did. I took all his other work on, and I was able to understand his work really quickly, building market forecasts, understanding percentage levels, and time counts between tops and bottoms and whatnot. So that was really easy for me. But I didn't have this tool, which I've created, and this is my 5th generation. I'm now on my 7th generation. It's a really beautiful tool. I'm sure that you've probably seen that one. That one's got a black background. This one's my traveling one. I have to cut it so it fits in my suitcase because from time to time I'm called upon to meet with private investors and investment firms to provide technical analysis on how to utilize the attributes of this tool that William Gann has created. And I'm now the only one that understands and can produce this type of work. This being said, anybody can do this. So what do we mean about longitude of price? Well, a circle has 360 degrees, or we could call it 36. You can add zeros and drop zeros. The next circle is 72 or 720. The next circle is 108, and the next one is 144, and the next one up is 180. We just keep adding 360 or 36, whichever you want to call it. And then when we have a stock or commodity, for instance, Bitcoin and the S&P 500 are vibrating around the same levels. So for instance, Bitcoin is at 72,000 right now, and the S&P 500 is at 7,500. So we just add and subtract the zeros, and we would just put it in the ring with the 72, and we would run it up using these planetary bodies and find out where they are inside the circle, whether it's in the second circle or the third circle. So for instance, I have a lot of XRP clients, and right now we're vibrating in the 4th circle between the 108 to 144. Nobody can dispute that. So this is how we find where it is inside. And you can see my stickers on here with these yellow. So these are the tops and bottoms of the channels for XRP. And you can see they're 180 degrees apart because I need to keep reaffirming this to some of my clients that are heavily trading and exercising options in the XRP network. So I just thought I'd show you that right now and give you just a little idea of how we would do that, how we would find, the price of an asset on the circle and use all the planets where they are, because they all they change from time to time. Some are very fast, some are very slow. Whereas the moon is really fast, in 28 days it does a complete circle. So we get a lot of different variations in prices. And this is one of the ways that we make logical and sensible determinations in regards to forecasting prices. I hope that you guys enjoyed that. I try not to make it too technical, but our work does touch upon very technical analysis and methods that have not really been well understood in the past or the present. So I wanted to bring about William Gann's work, and I'll be celebrating his birthday like it's my own birthday because I've learned so much from this man and his work. His work is really powerful, and I just love speaking about his work and the things that he was doing, and I love explaining it to people. I'm doing what I love, and I love what I'm doing, and I think that's really important. And if you can find things in your life that you love, then stick to those things. I know we have other daily things that kind of pull us away, but if you can, stick to the things that you love and just love what you're doing, and great things happen. I'm proof of that. I came from nothing and now I own Bitcoin. I have all this knowledge. I have a successful YouTube channel. I'm currently involved in several things, and I know it's tough for me sometimes to get back to, my people around me. I mean, I'm a one-man band playing in 5 different bands, and what do I mean by that? Well, I have a YouTube channel, right, that you're on right now, and I'm providing free content to you. Also, I do, number two, I do advisory and teaching. So that takes up quite a bit of my time as well. And also I do sales and promotions, and just like for William Gann's birthday coming up here on June 6th, I got a 25% discount. So I have a lot of work that I have to do with that, follow-ups and whatnot. Number four, I'm writing a book, Words of Power. I've showed you a little bit about that, and that words cast spells, and that you need to be really careful with the way that you speak and the words that you use, because words are like swords, and if you take the letters of words and rearrange them, you'll see that it makes the word sword, and that's why they say the tongue is sometimes more sharper than the point of a sword. So please be careful how you speak to yourself, especially yourself, but also your colleagues and others around you. I know that it's tough sometimes when people are rude or mean, but just try and be careful with your words, because they project power and a frequency into the universe. And last but not least is my Bullseye blockchain project. I'm a self-taught coder programmer, and I'm in several high-level meetings with the Belize government, and as well as investment firms. I've recently been asked to come to Abu Dhabi and in the United Emirates and attend a blockchain show there. However, at this time, I'm just not really comfortable with the geopolitical climate, with the current conflict that's going on there. So I just wanted to update you. We have a bunch of counts that are all lining up. We have planetary bodies that are making an alignment here, and I just really wanted to make you guys aware of this. I know I sound like a broken record saying that this market's going to go down, but we're in a 12-month bear market, brothers and sisters. So just please be very patient with your investment strategy. And thank you guys for joining me today, and also thank you for as well, the amount of comments I get about our blockchain project and people wanting to be involved in that. Of course, when we've hardened it and stress tested it and got our patent, we'll be letting you know that these things are about to happen. All right, guys, have a wonderful day and weekend ahead, and peace and love to you all.